Good to have you back with us on this. What day is this? It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Gosh, the week goes by fast. Ed Schultz, Susan Commentary. You can dial in right now if you want to go back and forth at 202-909-1492. That's 202 909 1492. There's so many numbers floating around today, I can't comprehend them all. 20% corporate tax rate to be reduced if you go along with the House version, which passed today, 227 to 205. 13 Republicans are not on board. This tax package that the House passed within the last few hours, 80% of it favors the corporations and the wealthy. $500,000, the mortgage deduction is the cap on your home. The SALT deduction is included. That's state and local taxes. If the House bill goes through all the way, you're going to be able to deduct your state and local taxes. Double the standard deduction and also increase the child tax credit. And there's going to be 4 brackets. So this is passed in the House. Of course, the Republicans are saying this is a big, big deal. They're also pushing the simplification of this. They claim that 90% of Americans are going to be able to quickly file their taxes off this postcard. That means a lot of deductions are going to be gone. But it does favor the corporations, it does favor businesses, and it favors the wealthiest Americans. And of course, the Democrats are all pissed off about it. The devil in the detail is going to be on the mandate over on the Senate side, because in their bill, there is a repeal of the health care mandate, which is causing a lot of problems. And Ron Johnson says he won't vote for it. You've got the usuals who have bucked heads with the president in the past: McCain, Corker, Collins, and Flake. Those are the senators that are publicly not saying that they would support it. Let's go to the phones. You could dial in now at 202-909-1492. You're on Facebook Live with Ed Schultz. Hello.
Hey, Ed, I think the partial repeal of the health care mandate is going to kill that bill in the Senate. I'm not surprised at all that it passed the House, considering the previous attempts to repeal Obamacare also went through the House pretty easily. But I think, considering now that this bill is going to go to the Senate, I think it's going to be a problem, and that they're going to have to work out some different versions. I think they're just going to.
I think the Senate's just going to take it out. I mean, I think that they did that to get Rand Paul's vote, because Rand Paul all along, it says we've got to live up to our campaign promises and repeal Obamacare, and at least if we can at least repeal the mandate. The president wants it. That was in the White House briefing just moments ago. Sarah Huckabee Sanders was talking about that. But I think that that's a negotiating point. And if the Republicans can get on the same page about repealing the death tax, about getting reduction for the wealthy, which I don't believe in, I don't think that that should happen. I think that that's just a negotiating point, the health care mandate. We'll see how it goes. Ron Johnson is the big, he's kind of a camera hog. And I think he's doing it to get some visibility. And also there's a big Democratic push in Wisconsin. He comes from the business world. I don't know. I think he's saying no for selfish reasons, but that's my opinion. Okay?
Sure, Ed. And yeah, sure. I just think that with all these other senators, including Collins and maybe even Murkowski and other Republicans, I think they're going to be pressured more by Democrats, because Democrats are going to make it look like, instead of a negotiation, they're going to make it look like Republicans are trying to completely repeal Obamacare. They've done it in the past.
Yeah.
In previous attempts where they haven't repealed the full extent of Obamacare, they have made people so pissed off to the point where senators have been pressured into saying, okay, I'm not going to vote for this bill. So it should be interesting. Personally, I don't think it's going to pass, but Ed, you do have a point that it is just a negotiation. So I think it'll be very interesting now that it's in the Senate.
I think that they're going to end up getting that out of there, and I think it will pass. I really do. I think today was a big day, and I think that enough senators understand that if they want to hold the majority, that they're going to have to deliver tax relief, because that's what they ran on. And the president wants it really bad. Thanks for the call. 202-909-1492. I don't know how you could have missed this. Roy Moore comes out today and gives a press conference. Deep sixes all the allegations against him. And I just want to make something perfectly clear, because I took a lot of shit from you people on my Facebook page saying that the allegations are a mixed bag. That's exactly what they are. None of these allegations have been proven. But do I think that Roy Moore is guilty? Yes, I do. I do. I don't think every allegation to a T is correct. That's what I meant by a mixed bag. And some of you people that get on my Facebook page and make comments, you're the biggest hate merchants in the frickin' world. What is wrong with you? Are you demented or something? I mean, I just laugh at all of you. But just so we're on the same page, or at least attempting to be on the same page, when I said it was a mixed bag, of course I don't believe all of the allegations, but I do believe that Roy Moore has got a real issue and he's guilty. And the latest news is Al Franken. He's got all kinds of issues right now. There's going to be an ethics investigation. There's a picture which looks pretty damn creepy. There's a USO tour. There's an actuality of a woman who is come out in a big way and given a press conference in Los Angeles. She's a radio news anchor on one of the radio stations out there, and she verbatim in detail talked about the anguish that she's been through. Al Franken came out with one statement saying he was sorry. Then he came out with a detailed statement. Al, you got to get in front of the camera. You got to get out and get ahead of this in a big, big way. He's done the right thing by saying he's sorry and saying he's going to go along with the ethics investigation. But this isn't going to go away anytime soon. There are, quote, top Democrats that are saying that he could get expelled from the Senate. But that's what the mainstream media is reporting. But they're not giving any names of the top Democrats. Who in the Senate thinks that Al Franken's going to get expelled? I think that that's a bridge too far. We're way too early to get down that road. Give the guy a chance to remorsefully say he's sorry, which he's already done, and explain himself even further. The lady in question says that she's sorry, or that she accepts his apology. So we're just in uncharted waters on how this is all going to unfold on Capitol Hill. The culture on Capitol Hill has been harassment for decades. And we're seeing things change in society right now. So I feel sorry for Al. I think I got to tell you this. I think that Al Franken did that long before he ever thought he was going to run for the United States Senate. And I think that whatever you do in life is going to follow you. And no, I'm not minimizing anything. This is serious stuff, but I don't think it's going to cost Al Franken his position in the Senate. Let's go to the phones. 202-909-1492. Caller, you're on Facebook Live with Ed Schultz. Hello. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're on with me. Go ahead.
Well,
Speak up, please. You are on. Okay. Well, there's a guy. Now, when you dial 202-909-1492 and we answer the phone and we say you're on, be smart enough to start talking. We know you can post negative shit. Let's just see if you can say it. Isn't it interesting how all of these people who come after me on my Facebook, and we've tried to be consistent and do this at 4 o'clock Eastern time when I do this, they never call. They never call. If you want a piece of me, now's the time to do it. 202-909-1492. Let's see, what else is big news today? Menendez. This hung jury mistrial that has been declared in the Senator Menendez trial is really going to redefine what senators can and cannot do when it comes to money and influence in America. We'll have a big story on it tonight on the news. Let's go to the phones. 202-909-1492. You're on with us. Hello.
Hi, Ed.
Hi.
Reason why I'm calling you is I know you've gone through medical stuff with Wendy. I hope she's okay. I'm really upset to hear that SSDI, people that are on disability, those that are seriously hurt or injured or sick, that go through quite a bit of money out of pocket. Number one, you can't get nursing care. You got to pay for yourself. I got to fly across the country for a precancerous pancreas to Indiana. Why is it that they're going to be reducing our payments? I consider that cruel.
It is pretty cruel. I have to tell you, I don't need a tax cut. I don't think anybody that has had the fruits of life the way I have had deserve a tax cut right now. Nobody. The bottom line here is you're going to hurt and I'm not. That's what it's come down to. Okay, we got that? You are going to hurt and I'm not going to hurt. I'm going to gain by the House plan, and I'm really going to gain by the Senate plan if they drop the top rate down to 32%? I mean, that's just amazing to me.
Right, Ed. That's right. Yeah, I don't understand what this is all about. What is the reason? Why are they so excited? There aren't any special meetings, or nobody's talking about this. Plus, why aren't the Democrats bringing this up? You're going to have your Social Security cut, those that are disabled. Medicare is going to be slashed. We'll feel that immediately with the baby boomers retiring and more retiring in the next 10 years.
But you know what this is going to do? This is going to add more debt and deficit, and then it's going to give the Republicans reason to come back saying, well, we've got entitlement problems. We got to privatize Social Security. We got to reduce payments now. We've got to get rid of Medicare and Medicaid. You know, we've got to make sure that, you know, we privatize all of this stuff and cut the payments, and you're going to be on your own. And
we're going to go back in time. This is not making America great. It's only making America great for one type of person.
That's very true.
The upper class.
That's very true. It's very true. And it's.
Is there anything more we can do, Ed Schultz?
Well, we need another. Look, you need another election. And if I can just say this bluntly, Joe Biden can't get it done. Bernie Sanders can. Okay? Bernie Sanders is still the best avenue for correction for all of these problems in the country as I see it. Okay? That's how I view it. Look, what does the next generation want? They want security, and they're willing to pay for it. And when I say that, I'm talking about Medicare, Social Security, personal security. Okay? We're always going to have a big military, but no one in this country is trying to make the cuts and the changes that the Republicans are trying to make. And, you know, they've gerrymandered the House so they can do stuff like this, okay? And it's going to hurt a lot of people such as yourself. I appreciate your call. Thank you for paying attention. 202-909-1492. You're on Facebook Live with Ed Schultz. Hello.
Hi, Ed. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
First of all, I want to tell you how much I miss you on regular television, on cable. I miss it terribly. Second, I'd like to know why our public servants think that, quote, servants can raise their own wages and slash the poor and the people who are just hanging on by their fingernails. I worked all my life, and now I have been on Social Security for 4 years and haven't received a decent raise or anything. All that happens is that my Medicare payments are higher, my out-of-pockets are higher, and it continues to go. Bernie was my guy. What can I say?
You can say that Bernie is still your guy, because if the Democrats,
Continue.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. If the Democrats can get power again, they can restore what you've paid into for all these years and what you deserve. But if the Republicans have the power, they're going to cut benefits. That's a fact. They're going to cut benefits. And I think, for instance, they've got their eye on the judiciary right now. This is why Trump is moving so fast on the judiciary appointing judges. They're talking all this crap right now about Roy Moore. I guarantee you mark my words, as soon as Roy Moore wins that election in Alabama, if he wins, I should say if he wins, they're going to embrace him big time, and they're going to say, well, the people of Alabama just elected him, and that's what their decision was. They're not going to get rid of Roy Moore because they want power, and they want to make sure that they get the judiciary exactly the way they want it. That's how I see it.
How can we get people to go out and vote with a brain instead of voting as dummies?
I don't know. Look, I think that if Bernie Sanders had been the nominee, he'd have won. I believe
Absolutely.
that. I believe
Absolutely.
that. I believe. And I think that Hillary Clinton has done almost irreversible damage. One good thing is the other day I saw a story that Tim Kaine, who was the vice presidential nominee on the Democratic ticket, he's now trying to get the DNC to drop the superdelegates. Oh, wow. That is fantastic. We don't need superdelegates. We just need delegates to the convention that do exactly what the people want them to do and make it a real representative government. There shouldn't be any super delegates like Al Franken and Amy Klobuchar who go to the convention and vote against what the constituents in their state wanted. They wanted Bernie Sanders, but they went with Hillary Clinton. Now that sucks. That's wrong.
Amen.
That is wrong. That just that undercuts, and then the Democrats are talking to me about democracy? Give me a break. Appreciate your call. Thank you. 202-909-1492. That was really a big deal that Tim Kaine came out and said that.
The problem, Ed, is there's a lot to be fixed in the Democratic Party right now. It's a mess. And, unfortunately, they have a big election in just a year from right now. Yeah. There's a huge election, and they are still in disarray.
And as Bernie would say, that's what the people have got to understand. 202-909-1492. And if they understand that, if we get out and vote, we can win.
Going back, I know a lot of it wasn't super covered. What did you make of the Roy Moore situation? I mean, not only did he speak out about it, but beforehand, there was about an hour and a half of speeches just talking about how good of a Christian man he was.
Oh, I know it. You'd almost think he's taken over for Jimmy Schweigert. Who had his issues years ago. Look, the people of Alabama are they're going to vote, and this Democrat might win. He's got some pretty good poll numbers right now. I mean, there might be enough Republicans who reject this turd and go with this Democrat who I think is staying very focused. Have you seen some of the interviews? I mean, he's not getting into the weeds and getting into the muck and down in the mud. He's talking about the issues, and I think that's what people are respecting right now. And so if Roy Moore wins, it's not going to be good for Alabama. It's not going to bode well for the Republicans and their image. 202-909-1492.
I did have one more question before we let everybody go.
Yeah.
You were talking about the judiciary and the importance of that and how the president has been nominating these federal judges. And that all goes back to that power situation. Democrats didn't know what to do when Obama was in charge and we had to leave all these seats vacant, and they didn't do anything about it.
I don't mean to make this an Al Franken day, but I'll never forget in 2009 that long, drawn-out recount where he defeated Norm Coleman. And so for a little over a year, the Democrats had the White House, the House, and the Senate, and they didn't do anything with it. They botched it. They wouldn't go down the road. They had the votes, but they couldn't get everybody on board to do universal health care. That might change now. We'll take another call. 202-909-1492. You're on it. Facebook Live with Ed Schultz. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're on.
Oh, okay. I got a question. You just mentioned the superdelegates. How do you get rid of the Electoral College? How do you abolish it?
That won't happen.
It won't happen.
No, because the framers have made it so every part of the country is going to have an equal say about how the union runs, and so I don't believe that just because there's more people living in one part of the country that has a whole different set of problems and issues doesn't mean that they should be running the entire country. And I think the Electoral College is brilliant. I think it's as fair as it gets. It's not about the popular vote. It's about making sure that there's a representative government for all sections of the country that certainly have different geographical issues that need to be represented that affect the total focus and the total direction of the country. Thanks for the call. 202-909-1492. We're not back tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow, and I'll be back next week. Go to WeGotEd.com.